Hi there, Virgo. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca. For those of you who are brand new, I would just first and foremost like to say thank you all for the likes, loves, subscribes. I truly appreciate it, and just have to say thank you. Second, the universe has been calling me to put out there something that I've been kind of nudged to say more than once, especially in the last few months. But this is a great time of healing. This time that we're living in now is about healing. And in our healing, we need to decide very clearly what it is that we're going to be taking into the future with us. So that being said, I am going to go ahead and pull a oracle card for you. This is the White Light Oracle deck, and these messages are kind of long, so for those of you who don't want to listen to me read for a few minutes, please feel free to fast forward to the actual reading. The Sun of 417 Hertz. This card has come up a couple of times today. Number 16, which breaks down to a 7. Sevens are about fortune and divine understanding. You are being healed from guilt and fear. Such emotions will no longer steal your personal power or dissuade you from confidence, happiness, and realizing your own worth. No matter how unlikely it may seem, you are going to emerge from a spiritual winter into life and light. The divinely ordained time for your liberation, healing, and emergence is much closer than you realize. Abundant blessings are stirring and shall soon manifest. Our sun is a self-luminous being. It does not reflect light or energy from other sources, but rather generates its own. It is quite literally an enlightened being. The sun is our spiritual mentor, teaching us how to be spiritually self-reliant when we cannot find support or guidance externally and need to go it alone for a time. Such phases can be difficult, but they are temporary, and inner spiritual strength is built during such times. Sometimes we don't realize our own strength until circumstances force us to find out. Connecting to one's own inner light is a precious and empowering gift. It allows you to feel spiritually held from within. Once you have established such an inner connection, you are unlikely to give your power away again, less prone to being manipulated, and more likely to live in harmony with your soul values, rather than the typically soul-denying priorities of mass consciousness. As your soul connects to the inner sun, your relationship to the light heals. It is not seen as separate. Instead, the soul begins to recognize the light as a constant inner reality that can be relied on for sanctuary. As the soul recognizes itself as the higher self, a being of light, the fears of the mind no longer dominate the heart as they used to. The inner light encourages the heart to depend upon its wisdom, to live as though the light was more real than the darkness of doubt and worry. The soul turns within, begins to tap into its own potential, and in doing so, gains further self-confidence, spiritual empowerment, and loving presence. If you are criticized, misunderstood, or disrespected by those around you, rely upon your inner connection to the light to see you through such dark times. You can commune with your inner light in private without needing to explain, justify, or even speak of it to anyone. Your inner light shall continue to shine bright no matter what is happening around you. The frequency of 417 Hertz is a spiritual truth serum. It undoes false perceptions and dismantles circumstances and situations that are not meant for the soul. When a challenging situation is helping the soul to grow, this frequency will help you understand how to work through it in a soul-centered way, staying connected to the light within. If a situation such as a toxic relationship is creating a barrier between the soul and the light, weakening its ability to evolve and causing it to become stuck in trauma and negative patterns, this frequency will dismantle the negative circumstances. You always have free will, but your capacity to exercise that free will in a self-loving way will become more available to you. The 417 Hz frequency facilitates a healing shift into the vibration of the higher self. Your authentic life path is directed by your higher self. As it is unique, there is no use comparing your path to any other path in order to determine its validity and value. Your true life path may lead you away from the familiar, directly into worlds unknown. The moment the soul takes its authentic path, wondrous awakening can take place. There is a feeling of closeness and connection to the sacred. This frequency helps wipe away experiences of alienation and reestablish a deep and loving connection with the universe. It cleanses traumatic experiences and memories and any malignant habits formed as a consequence of past pain to allow the soul to experience true kindness, compassion, and love for self and others. In this oracle, it signifies that no matter what's happening in your life, you've got this. Love that message. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into your reading, shall we? What was the recent past for my Virgos? What was the recent past for my fellow Earth sign Virgos? We have the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Swords. What is the present situation? Judgment. What is the blockage? The 4 of Cups. What is the message from Spirit? The Sun. What is the outcome? What is the potential outcome for my Virgos? We have the 4 of Pentacles. And the Ace of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords. Okay. Whoop. Under that is the Lovers. Interesting. Wanted to be seen. So there's a decision here. So the Page of Swords, the Page of Swords likes to gather information. Someone could be spying on you. You could be spying on someone. But there is also communication here. In your recent past, we have the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Swords. So this is anxiety about leaving all of those cups behind, right? About walking away from something that you feel you've put a lot of emotion into. In your present situation, this is big because the Judgment card is your call, right? This is the universe, Spirit, God, whatever you want to call it. This is the higher power knocking on your door and asking you to open it. The 4 of Cups is your present situation, so what's blocking you? Now this could be you making an offer to someone and it being rejected or ignored, or this could be you not seeing, intentionally not looking at that cup that's being offered to you. Your message from Spirit is the Sun card. This is a beautiful card. This is a card that talks about happiness and freedom and enlightenment. But again, enlightenment. And your potential outcome is the 4 of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. The 4 of Pentacles talks about hanging on, but it also talks about thinking about investment. And these two cards together is, where are you going to invest this creative spark, this passionate new idea, right? Let's look at the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Swords. Please clarify the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Swords. It's funny that this started with 2 cards and ends with 2 cards. We have the King of Cups and the Lovers. And the King of Pentacles. So that's 2 kings. The bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So you could be dealing with a water sign, or you could be dealing with an earth sign, or you could be dealing with any sign for that matter. But this is a choice. You may have made an emotionally balanced choice to leave a situation. Or you chose someone over someone else and you're still not sure that you made the right choice. For some of you, you felt like you had to choose between love and money. Please clarify the Judgment card. We have Temperance. Clarify the Judgment card. The 7 of Swords. And the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The bottom of the deck, now we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So Temperance talks about healing. It talks about taking your time. It talks about, tempering impulses. And, but for me, with this butterfly and these 2 cups here, it talks about the alchemy of transformation, and the time that it takes to do that. Now with this 7 of Swords, again, this is lying, stealing, cheating type of strategy. Something just hit my window. Weird. But Temperance also talks about, not Temperance, the 7 of Swords also talks about just a quiet strategy. With this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it could be that you're stuck in something. This plan might be taking longer than you thought. The Judgment card talks about a decision that you've made, or a decision that you're looking at right now. This could be a strategy to heal and move forward and become unstuck. But the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is someone who's rash, stubborn, and sullen. They're not doing their due diligence. With the 7 of Swords, that can mean that you're trying to get around doing your due diligence, right? All right. Please clarify the 4 of Cups. With the Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck, it could also be that there's a lie involved. Thank you. We have the Emperor. The Magician. And the 5 of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Wands in reverse. So there's something that someone's given up all expectation of it. The Emperor can talk about like a father figure. But the Emperor can also talk about a lot of ego. The Magician, with the 5 of Swords, means that whatever this is, it's just manifesting conflict. And not conflict, like it's manifesting internal conflict. Whatever it is, I feel like it's in those 3 cups that someone is really, really hyper-focused on. Because the one cup being offered from the divine is being completely ignored. There's some sort of passivity here. And manipulation. Let's look at the Sun card. Please clarify the Sun. We have the Strength card in reverse, could be dealing with a Leo. The Three of Swords in reverse. And the Seven of Wands in the upright. The bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords. So it's time to let go of this stalemate and let your heart heal. The Seven of Wands talks about keeping a higher ground. For me, the Seven of Wands can talk a lot about integrity and holding your integrity through something. I'm going to pull one more for the Sun. The Two of Cups in reverse. So yeah, it's time to let whatever this connection was go. The Four of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. The Two of Wands in reverse. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And the Death card in the upright. The bottom of the deck, we have the World. So this is talking about so this could be a couple of different things. The Two of Wands in reverse means that an action, that maybe you've made an action or you're still in the process of making the decision. The Four of Pentacles can be hanging on to something. So you may need to make a decision to let go of whatever this ace was to you. Let it end, right? You have both an ending and the World card. So there is an ending and a new beginning here, but something has to transform, something has to transmute. But it has to be let go. Now with the Four of Pentacles here, I can see that you're struggling with that. Or that there's going to be some struggle with that. But finding happiness in everyday life and gratitude is the single best medicine for just about anything. Being grateful for what it is that is in your life, whether it's your health, your children's health, your family's health, you know, having that book to read, whatever it is. If you're grateful for it, then there is no, it's very hard to be upset about every little thing, right? So let's look, what is the final message? This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. What is the final message for my Virgos? We have number 38, which breaks down to 11, the Mystical Shaman. And number 37, which breaks down to a 10, the Moon. And this is the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. What is the final message Here's the final message for my wonderful Virgos. We have Lion Spirit. Be generous of spirit. And that's another 37. 2 10s and an 11. 10s are all about beginning and endings. Okay, we will start with Lion Spirit. For those of you who are dealing with a Leo. Be generous of spirit. A healthy ego means you ease God's order instead of edging God out. Lion Spirit's appearance is a reminder that you have been given the gift of pride and a healthy sense of your worth to express your divine, authentic self in a unique way. You are both the king and the queen, secure in your prosperity and wisdom and generous of spirit as you help others. Take pride in your ability to serve from the heart. Contentment with what you have right now allows you to use your resources wisely as you give to others in ways that educate, heal, inspire, and delight. Be proud yet humble. Practice gratitude, and you will find that the accolades that come to you are no match for the joy of knowing what you have been able to do for others through expressing the bounty of generosity within you. Lion Spirit knows there is a great savannah before you, and many who will benefit from the healthy expression of your unique set of gifts if you choose to work in partnership with Spirit. All your relationships flourish as you express your worth and generosity of spirit with humanity and kindness. What a blessing you can be to all. The protection message. Do you doubt you can do much good? Are you stuck in a state of scarcity thinking? Who am I to lead, or who am I to step into my dream? Who am I to have an amazing relationship? Who am I to think I can help? Lion Spirit is here to tell you that the antidote for low self-esteem is stepping into healthy pride. Of course, you can do all that you desire. The spark of Great Spirit lives inside you, and you are here to steward that amazing energy into the world. Lion Spirit knows that Great Spirit invested in you so that you might be a channel for Spirit's love and generosity. Take pride in your role, seeking to bring an abundance of love into the world. Perhaps you do much good already, but you're feeling unappreciated, wanting to hold back your gifts and hoard them for yourself. Maybe you're looking for attention and praise. Maybe you were even being generous with the expectation that you would be entitled to a repayment. Know that the real magic happens when you remember there is always enough and you are always enough. Give freely without agenda or expectation, and let Lion Spirit remind you that in giving you receive. Then you will see that you are appreciated. Stop comparing yourself to others and seeing yourself as less than, for within you is a wellspring of generosity. Lovely. It's a beautiful card too. And then we have number 38. The mystical shaman. This is the symbol of the myth maker and storyteller who is neither made nor defined by the story. Instead, he observes it, evolves through it, perceives all aspects of it. In doing so, the mystical shaman represents the ability to dream a new story, a new myth into being. He dances between worlds, wearing the cloak of the world loosely around his shoulders, and sings the world into being. He reminds us to be in the world and travel through it, but not to be defined by it or become too attached to the experience. This is the symbol of true alchemy, for all elements of life have a spiritual aspect and a material one. When we remember this, all manner of miracles and manifestations are possible. When the mystical shaman appears, you're invited to consider the ability to live without attachment. You are called to create and dream your life, to act on inspiration and divine impulse without fixating on a known story of success or achievement. Can you impartially observe the stories you tell yourself and others? What if you could become a mystery to yourself? Who would you become if you stopped telling the tales that have defined you up until now? You do not have to live in a story that has roots in the past. What if there were no need to explain you to anyone, not even to yourself? The way to your most extraordinary life is to become a blank slate and allow the form of your dreams and desires to show up as it will. This is a sign of manifesting a life beyond your wildest dreams. The medicine. Be careful what you pray for. The mystical shaman cautions you against relentless attachment to a certain form that you think will make you happy, prosperous, famous, loved, etc. However, in seeing your dream come into being, had you considered what you were willing to sacrifice for it? Perhaps you've been telling yourself a certain story for so long, the story that only when you reach this particular goal will you be happy, that you will arrive. You didn't even notice you're no longer the person who wanted those outcomes. You may have moved beyond those stories. Perhaps it's time to admit to yourself that you need to imagine a new story that is more in alignment with who you have become. This is just one moment in millions of moments in the continuum of life. Let it go, let it be just a story, and move on. Better tales are waiting to be told. The moon. Every 28 days, the moon manifests a steady progression from darkness to light and then back again. This phenomenon in our skies has a powerful impact on our human psyches. It offers us the certainty that after periods of emptiness and darkness, there is a light waiting so we can be reborn into a new phase. This calls to mind a Native American prayer to the moon. May our lives be renewed as yours is. The moon also has a strong influence on the ebb and flow of waters on the earth. This same power in turn affects humans' feelings and emotions and mirrors the rising from hiding back into the unconscious. The moon spends equal time in the dark as it does in the light of the sun, and now it comes to remind you of this balance. Have you been too focused on outer achievements, productivity, or social engagements? Or have you spent too much time hidden from the outer world, not wanting to interact or show your face? Meditate on the significance of the moon cycle and let it gently guide you out of your bottomless depths. Head back to the world of outer expression and connection with others. Let it help you make time for yourself, your feelings, and your essential human and spiritual needs. The medicine. This card calls you to go on a journey of renewal, just like the moon does every month, so you can get unstuck, whether from a specific situation or life in general. For this, you need to make time to be with yourself without the distractions of modern society, and have the courage to look at the unwanted, unembraced parts of your being until you arrive at a place of resolution. Shamanic lore explains that the finest treasures of humanity are hidden where people are most afraid to go. And as Jordan Peterson says, you have to slay the dragon to get the gold. Okay, Virgo, that is your reading. I hope it was helpful. If it was, please hit the like and subscribe button. And remember, I love you. Have a beautiful night.